Good morning. Today I will be telling the story of Sleeping Beauty. Long time ago there lived a kind king and queen. They were happy but they wished very much for a child. One spring day, the wish finally came true. The queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Aurora. Everyone in the kingdom celebrated with food, cakes, and music. The king and queen invited many important people to the baby celebration, including the good fairies. But they forgot to invite one fairy. It's a dark and scary fairy named Madame Thorn. During the celebration, the good fairy gave Princess Aurora a special gift. One fairy gave her beauty. One fairy gave her kindness. One fairy gave her sweet singing voice. And one fairy gave her happiness and laughter. Suddenly, the palace door burst through open. A cold wind blew through the hall. Madame Thorn walked inside. Everyone became silent and afraid. I was not invited, she said angrily, but I will give my gift. She pointed at the baby girl. When Aurora grew older, she will prick her finger on a sharp spindle and fall into a deep sleep forever. Then Madame Thorn laughed loudly and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Everyone in the palace was terrified. But one good fairy stepped forward. I cannot remove the curse, she said softly, but I can change it. Aurora will not sleep forever. One day, a brave prince will wake her up. The king and queen became very worried. They ordered all the spinning tools in the kingdom to be destroyed. Years passed. Aurora grew into a kind and beautiful princess, and slowly, people forgot about the curse. One day, Aurora was wandering around the palace alone. She climbed an old staircase into a small tower room. Inside, she saw an old woman spinning thread. Hello, dear, said the old woman kindly. Aurora had never seen a spindle before. What are you doing? She said. I am spinning thread, said the old woman. Would you like to try? Aurora smiled carefully, touched the spindle. Suddenly, ouch! The sharp spindle pricked her finger at once. Aurora fell into a deep sleep. Then, the old woman stood up straight and threw off her cloak. It was Madame Thorn all along. She laughed and disappeared again. Soon everyone in the palace fell asleep too. The cook slept in the kitchen. The guard slept by the gate. The maid slept holding their feather duster. Even the king and queen fell asleep on their throne. Years and years passed. Thick plants and thorny vines grew all around the palace until it was hidden deep inside a dark forest. One day, a young prince rode through the forest. He had heard stories about a sleeping princess hidden inside a forgotten palace. Curious, he pushed through the thick plants and climbed over the old palace wall. Inside, everything was silent. Everyone was asleep. The prince walked through the palace and climbed higher and higher until he reached the top tower room. There, lying peacefully asleep, Princess Aurora. The prince gently kissed her at once. Aurora opened her eyes, and suddenly the whole palace woke up. The cook woke up, the guard woke up, the maid woke up, and the king and queen woke up too. Everyone cheered with joy. The king and queen thanked the prince for saving their daughter. And from that day on, the prince and princess Aurora lived happily ever after. The moral of the story is true love will win through all over evil.